Sometimes it's surprising what you can find out by watching videos like the one I just watched about 25 things you probably didn't know about Germany. That kind of thing is always a bit of a challenge for me, and sure enough, many of the facts in that video were ones that I debunked in videos of mine. But it began with the interesting fact that Berlin is 9 times bigger than Paris and has more bridges than Venice. Well, that's 2 facts, but they do seem to need closer examination. 9 times bigger than Paris? Well, what do you mean by Paris? I mean, that may seem like a stupid question, but whereas in Germany cities always have a very clearly defined boundary, in other countries large cities may have much fuzzier edges. For some purposes the surrounding suburbs are counted, and for other purposes they're not. There is the city of Paris, and there is the metropolis of Greater Paris, which came into being at the beginning of this year and is quite a bit bigger. Even bigger than that is what's called the urban area, but let's stick with the first 2. The city of Paris has a population of 2.4 million people and an area of about 105 square kilometers. Berlin, on the other hand, has a population of about 3.5 million and an area of 891 square kilometers. So, in terms of area, it does seem that Berlin is much bigger. Not quite 9 times bigger though, about 8.5 times. Greater Paris though is much bigger. It has a population of nearly 7 million living in 814 square kilometers. That's a bit smaller than Berlin, but with twice the number of people living in it. The bridges though, is that one true? Berlin has more bridges than Venice? It's surprisingly difficult to count bridges. Ask a selection of different people how many bridges there are in Venice and you get slightly different answers. But it is more or less 400. According to some people, Berlin has 1,662 bridges, but that number includes all road and rail bridges, which are not included in Venice's 400. The official answer to the question, how many road bridges over water does Berlin have, is 564. But that number includes everything, even the smallest wooden footbridge over a ditch. And you also have to remember that Berlin is about twice the size of Venice, so the number of bridges actually isn't all that spectacular after all. Don't forget that in the case of Venice, you have bridges connecting islands, whereas in Berlin you have bridges spanning rivers and canals, so it's not really a fair comparison. So, to sum up, if by Paris you mean the city of Paris and not Greater Paris, then yes, Berlin is nearly 9 times bigger, but it probably doesn't have very many more bridges than Venice. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not send me a postcard? Here's the address. Or visit Rewboss.com, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my blog.